In this video, I'm going to show you how WhirlyGlobe is paging texture databases. Now, this is the same database that we were looking at earlier. It's just that we're looking at the grid lines that underlie the textures as opposed to the textures themselves. But it's still doing all the same work. It's just not displaying the resulting textures. So we start out with a globe, and then we break it into pieces based on a quad tree. And the way we are deciding to page things is we look at each individual tile, starting with that lowest resolution tile, and we calculate the screen space taken up by a representative texel from that tile. We throw that into a big array of similar values, and then we decide what to page based on that. So the result of that is, as you get closer to things, they will appear to subdivide, and we'll load in the higher resolution tiles associated with those areas. So we'll get down all the way down here to the level 8 tiles, then we zoom back up and you can kind of see what area it decided to load in. Now those areas are getting loaded out as other areas decide they're more important, and that's basically what we expect to see. So there's a lot of high resolution here, but if we go all the way back here we see lower resolution, and then it's paging as we go. Now with a quad tree, like the simplest way to approach this is just to start at the lowest resolution tile and keep going down until you get the highest resolution tile that you belong to, and then kind of load up all the tiles nearby. That doesn't work too well if you're mapping it onto a globe though, so what we did instead was take this approach where we're evaluating the size of a given texel on a tile, and I'll show you why we did that. So as I zoom into the pole here, ignore what's going on in the background there, you see that it is loaded in fairly high resolution around the pole. Now if you don't do it this way, where you're evaluating the importance of a given texel on the screen, you can end up with this odd situation where only one of these quadrants is loaded in at high resolution and all the rest are lower resolution, and that's what we were trying to avoid. So you can see all these are nice and low res, but everything around the pole is a fairly high res, and then if we go down deeper, it'll load even higher resolution, and so on and so forth. And that's why we took that approach. And it does let you do some interesting things. It really means that the coordinate system that your quad tree is in need not be the same coordinate system that you're displaying in, and you can do some pretty crazy stuff with it. This is probably about as crazy as it'll get for this particular implementation, but there's some other interesting stuff you can do as well. So that's basically it. That's how the paging implementation works for WhirlyGlobe, and right now it's being used for Mapbox tiles, but obviously eventually any quad tree based system will work, or even any replacement LED system eventually. That's about it.